Hodashis, how's it going, Bub? So today there was a Rust update where they added so much new content to the game, and I'm going to try to go over all of it the best I can. So we're going to go through it rather quickly. And here we have the three different defensive barricade types. We have the stone barricade, we have the concrete, and the sandbag. And you can throw these up anywhere in the wilderness. They do not have to be on a foundation, as long as there's not a tool cupboard blocking your way. So you cannot put these on someone's property. And here's how much each barricade costs. The stone barricade costs 100 stones. The sandbag barricade costs 150. Yes, that is a sandbag. I know it has the metal barricade icon, they just haven't added a new one. The concrete barricade for 200 stones. Based on how much each one costs, I can only assume the concrete barricade is the best one, then the sandbag, then the stone. Now let's get to the fun part of this week's update. We now have high velocity pistol rounds and high velocity rifle rounds, or 5.56. We also have a high velocity rocket, which I will show you after this gun test here. What I have here is I'm going to stand on this rock and I'm going to shoot at this stone structure I built down here. Try to aim for that sandbag, and we're going to see where the bullet lands along the stone wall, and then I'll use the other ammo type and see how much higher or how much faster that hits the stone wall. Right now we have the AK with the normal 5.56 ammo type in it, so we're going to go ahead, shoot at the sandbag, shoot at it a couple times, and see where the bullets land along the stone wall. I will fly up there and I will check it out. I'm just going to shoot a couple at the sandbag. So here you have it. I shot a couple bullets off and it landed in the middle of this first wall with the normal 5.56 rounds. Now I'm putting in the high velocity rounds into the AK, and then we'll do some test firing with the new round type and see if it actually hits the sandbag or somewhat close to it. I shot quite a few rounds off, and look at that! We have a round actually hitting the stone, and I can only assume some of them actually hit the sandbag itself because we don't have any other bullet holes. These ones right down here are from the last round with the normal 5.56. Then with the high velocity, we were actually hitting the sandbag. One landed right there. So high velocity rounds inside of an AK pretty much turns the gun into a bolt, an automatic bolt. And now we're going to test it out with the submachine gun. I have the regular pistol bullets in there right now, and we're going to aim down there at the sandbag, fire a couple rounds to see where they land. As you see here, we have a couple bullet holes. They are hitting the ground way before the stone wall. I just put in high velocity rounds, and we're going to shoot at the sandbag to see if we can get some different results. And here's the results from the high velocity pistol bullets. They did not do as good as the AK. They did not hit the sandbag, but they are quite the step up from the regular pistol bullets that didn't even make it to the stone wall. The high velocity rifle ammo and the high velocity pistol ammo cost the same amount of metal fragments, but they cost 15 more gunpowder each. Something quick to note is that the Eka pistol can now take any of the new ammo types, any at all. Whichever ammunition you use, it actually still works like it normally would. A pistol bullet will shoot out pistol, and a 5.56 rifle ammo, it will shoot out 5.56. So to test right here, I'm putting in the 12 gauge shotgun shell. It's going to splatter everywhere just like the buckshot normally would. And I am now putting in a 5.56 and actually hit the barrel with the 5.56. It's just a single bullet. And we're going to take that out again. Alongside the new high velocity rounds, we have a high velocity rocket. Yes, it goes a lot faster and a lot farther than the normal rocket we have here. We also have the smoke rocket, which is a work in progress, so you might not be able to use it or find it in game, but I have it because I'm an admin, and it's quite cool. It actually creates a smoke cloud. The test I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire off a regular rocket. I'm going to aim for the top of this wall, and we're going to check out the drop rate on the regular rocket versus the high velocity rocket. I just fired the regular rocket, and it does not even make it to the wall. What a shame. I'm throwing in a high velocity rocket, as you see there. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to aim for the top of the wall. I'm going to fire, we're going to see where this bad boy lands. It actually lands right in the dead center between the top wall and the wall right below it. As you can tell, that rocket went a lot faster and a lot farther than the other rocket did, because it didn't even make it to the wall. But the high velocity rocket didn't do a whole lot of damage, so that's where it lacks. We will now be doing a test where I keep firing rockets of each type at a stone wall to see how many rockets it takes to break it down. Let's get started. That one, it's so bright, but that one did 139 damage to the wall. By using the regular rockets, it takes 4 of them to break through a stone wall, but we already knew that. So now we're going to use the high velocity rockets. High velocity rockets do about 76 damage. Okay, so it took 8 high velocity rockets to break down a stone wall, where it takes 4 regular rockets to break down a stone wall, where it takes 2 C4 to break down a stone wall. So as we know, regular rockets already do about half the damage C4 does. So that means high velocity rockets do a quarter of the damage C4 does. Now as we take a look at how much the high velocity rocket costs compared to the regular rocket, the high velocity rocket costs 50 more gunpowder, but it goes a lot farther and a lot faster, but it does so much less damage. So maybe the high velocity rocket is a lot better for sniping out people and taking out big groups quickly, not for breaking bases down. And I am now going to show off the work in progress smoke rocket. The smoke rocket could be used to deter people, give your group cover, get yourself out of line of sight, and hide yourself. It'd be really cool if they added a gas rocket, so it acts just like the smoke rocket, but instead of smoke, it's gas. So you can fire it through somebody's window and basically smoke out the people that live in there. As you can see, the smoke does not harm you, but it really gets rid of your vision, and it's a big old cloudy mess. It did very minimal damage to the base, so you won't be taking down any bases with the smoke rocket. The smoke rocket costs 80 metal fragments, 200 gunpowder, and 25 low-grade fuel. A new trap has been added to the game. These are floor spikes. These cannot be placed on foundations and only on the ground. You could probably have it set up so maybe you have a bridge going over these floor spikes, shooting it out, having raiders fall down below, landing right on them. There is no collision with them, but they definitely do hurt you. But you can just walk right through them without any obstacles. These cost 300 wood and a blueprint. The research table model is now in the game, and it looks very cool, very sleek. It's blue because blueprints are blue. It kind of fits that theme. You got a pencil, you got some paper. That's pretty cool. Something really cool that they brought back in from the good old legacy days are these supply drops. These little smoke grenades that bring in airdrops, drop goodies for you. I love these things. I'm so glad that they brought them back. I'm going to throw a couple down on the ground, and we'll see what the results are. I threw down a couple supply signals down there, and the airdrops actually land roughly right around where you throw the smoke grenade. So that's kind of cool, just like in Legacy. If you were to throw it right outside your house, it could land somewhere nearby and even on top of your house. After you throw a supply signal, it takes about 2 minutes for the airdrop to actually come in. One thing I find problematic is that I have the supply signal learned because I'm an admin, but I'm not sure if you can learn these in-game, and I hope you can't, because these cost 50 gunpowder and 20 metal fragments each. Those are very easy to make for a whole entire airdrop, and that you could throw more than one. Someone could easily make over 100 of those, throw them all at once, and then there'll be so many planes across the sky dropping loot everywhere, and that's just from one guy. So I hope you cannot learn these in-game, or if you do, increase the cost dramatically. And something else that I absolutely love that was in Legacy and is finally back in the game is the crack headshot sounds. If you hit somebody in the face or the head, it will play a headshot sound. It's the most satisfying sound you'll ever hear in Rust. It lets you know that you got a headshot on somebody. So we'll test it out right here. As soon as this guy stops moving around, he's also an admin, so he's in God mode. And you hear that crack? That is the sound of a headshot. That was like the one in Legacy. It's beautiful. I will hit him in the knee. You don't hear the crack anymore. But if I shoot him in the face, there's the crack. That is the most satisfying sound ever. Look at the airdrop. And last but not least on this great list of many different items added to Rust is the candle hat. We got this cute little boy right here. We have a candle hat strapped around his head. It emits a light, and it's very cool. I believe it fits Rust, their silly little fun going style that they have going on here. I just changed it to night so I can show off how bright this candle is and how helpful it is during the nighttime. It is quite bright. The light emits all the way over here, so I'm going to turn mine on as well. You go to the item itself in your clothing section, you click on it, and then you click on ignite, and there you have it. You can run around with a candle on your head. Awesome! The candle hat costs 30 cloth and 10 animal fat to craft, and while you're using the candle, it loses durability, and the only way to refuel it is to take it to a repair bench and repair it that way. Campfires now look a lot brighter and a lot cooler. And that's pretty much what they added this week to Rust. There's a lot of cool new items, and I'm absolutely loving it. Some other things to mention is you can now change the language of your Rust in-game, and the Happus Island map, the handcrafted Happus Island map, is getting to be quite beautiful, and I'm going to make a video of that. I'm going to fly around in it, I'm going to explore it, check out the new rad towns, because it deserves its own video. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to have a fantastic day. I know that I will, and I will see you guys later. And I can only imagine the amount of things I could do with electricity. You know, it opens up so many doors. Maybe we can have turrets to defend our base while we're offline sometime. Fredo, please elaborate on your painting here. What inspired you?
Well, what inspired me for this painting was, I don't know.